It's a handy little saw, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Good purchase.
Yeah.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising, watching out for number one. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Today is just a day and not tomorrow. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now.
Oh, and that's where the handle's gonna go.
So far we ran 3 lines. We got 2 more lines to run, one here and one at the top. And what I did is I started from this point on the bottom and went all the way around, came back to this here and then went up. And so it's kind of connected in series. So it goes up to here, it continues on, wraps around, goes up to the next one, and then continues to the third. Now when I came back to this side, the third line stops right here because this is going to be where we're going to have our hookups for we're going to have 3 handles so we can remove the handle and get in whenever we need to. As you can see, it just kind of runs all the way around. And then this one here ties to this and it stops right here, the third line, because we're going to connect these together at the end. Okay, so what we got here is we got a electric fence voltage tester, pretty much a must, unless you want to try it with your fingers. And then this is the expando gate. So that's what we're going to do with the 3 lines at the top from the middle up. We're going to have these springs right here. They're like a spring. And then you attach the handle, which is this right here. We got the good ones. So you hook this up to the spring, and then you have a hook on the one side of the post and the other. So you can just unhook this whenever you need to get into the run. And then we have the ground clamp for the ground rod. I have that as well. This is the kit to attach the gate anchors. And I don't know how many these does. If it's just for one. If it's just for one, then we're in the trouble because we're going to have to go and get 2 more. See, look. I guess that's how it's going to be.
Why?
I don't even know if I want to use this. I'm just thinking, just tie the wire.
right. Yeah. Where'd you get the coil? The coil came with it?
No, it was one of the kits that we bought.
Oh.
Because it's kind of like, see how loose that
Kind of
is?
loose. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not really liking it.
Is that top electrified? Is this going to be electrified? Or is
Yeah, it has to, of course. Trying to think here. All right, let's try to get him over here.
That's the girl. Come on. Come on. Come on. This way.
We have him temporarily tied to the chain because once we got all of this done, we're not going to be able to get him in here. And besides, he needs to be away from the females, like right now.
Now you're all tangled in the wood. Now you're all tangled in the wood.
Oh, yeah,
Tangled up in the wood.
okay, bring it over here. It's like there, fine. Good enough. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I cut a piece of the line and I'm going to tie it to the end of the handle like this. I do a double knot so it doesn't get loose. All right, it's going to go that way. This one's going to tie over here. This came with the kit, and it's going to tie it to the T-post, and then we're going to put the metal piece let me show you guys, okay? This metal piece here, see how it's got a hole on one side and then it's got like a little slot on the other? The slot is where this hooks to. That's for the handle, okay, to hook onto. This one, the round part, you slide in through here and then you put this peg through it like this. See that?
Honey, he got on the other side of the rope.
Ah, he did it again. Yeah. This thing's supposed to have metal in it, but I don't see the metal. Yeah, he's not happy. But that's the way it is. So you see, guys, you're just repeating the process 3 times.
Stop crying, good girl.
He cries like a little girl. Not happy. You know. There you go. See that? Got one more. I've decided not to use the spring because it's just too loose and heavy. I don't like it. So we're just going to tie it directly to the rope, to the line. I just made like 3 knots. I want to make sure it doesn't come off. Put that there. We don't have rocky, sandy soil. We have clay soil. So we have a lot of clay. And because we have a lot of clay, clay is a better conductor than sand. So we're going to be using 1 grounding rod. If we had sandy soil, we would be using 3 grounding rods. We have a 10-mile electric fencing. And obviously we're not going 10 miles, so we're just going, 150 feet, something like that, 130 feet. We're going to be putting it's a stainless steel, 1/2 inch, 4-foot rod. And so we're going to pound this into the ground. We're going to leave about 3 inches, 4 inches above the ground so that we can put the clamp and connect our ground wire that's going to connect to the box. Also, I'm going to mount this as close proximity to the box as possible. And somewhere in between the middle of the run. They recommend mounting the solar somewhere in the middle of the run. There we go. That's good. Next, we're going to take our ground clamp, and I'll have to get a screwdriver. So you clamp this to the rod, and then you put your ground cable through the other smaller hole. Okay. Now, at the present time, I do not have a coated ground cable, so I'll be using just a piece of wire. And as soon as we have the opportunity, we're going to buy a ground wire that is insulated. But again, I don't have that at the moment, so just to get this connected for today, we're going to just use a pretty thick wire for the ground. It's only going to go from here to here, so it's not very long at all, maybe about 3 feet or so. Okay. I have some electrical tape. Maybe I'll put some electrical tape. I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's going to be all right. David, could you pass me the keys? I have the knife on there. Careful because it's open.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
Okay. One more line. We're almost there.
How does this one get hot?
I'm going to connect them. I'm going to connect these together at the
Oh, okay, like you did here?
end. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Wrong one. All right? I think I got it now. And then this one goes here. Sorry, Mr. Goat. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
At least you're not going to the butcher. Yeah, I'm going to get the rake and rake all that up, baby. Last connection.
Last connection. Yep. There we go. Okay.
The box is in a great position.
Yeah. I think so.
It's going to get sun all day.
Yeah. It's getting good sun. This is mounted pretty tight. So, okay, now we got all the lines in. The only thing left to do is to connect these three lines here, because I put the first two in a series. They're kind of wrapping around each other like this, and then these three, where the handles are, I am going to connect together right here. So, and it should do it. Take a little piece of wire here. Okay, so now they're connected. Do the same thing 2 more times.
What was that? What was that?
I don't know.
Are you a Billy or a nanny? Come on.
Okay. Now I'm going to come out and we're going to test it. We have to find some zip ties. I know we have some. Okay. Just loosen that a little bit. Already got the ground in. Okay. So I'm gonna go to the middle, right here. Okay.
Right, because that one's connected to the two on the bottom as well, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'm not getting electrocuted. That's a good thing. Now we'll get the tester, turn it on, get the tester and test it.
Well, we got Domino over. He's not exactly happy. He's still trying to figure out why he's been pulled away from Mama. And then there's Mr. Goat. He's not happy either. But they'll be fine.
Okay. We have Mr. Goat tied to a chain because the fence isn't fully charged yet. And we put them in and they both walked right out in between the lines. It was showing 7,000, 6,000 volts, so it should be at least 5,000 volts to contain them, and we had 6,000 volts. That's what the voltmeter was saying. However, even after hooking it up, they went right through the lines. So we added 2 more lines. I'll show you in a second. We added 2 more lines at the bottom, and now we have 7 lines. We have the ground rod in the ground, 1/2-inch stainless steel 4-foot rod. We have the box mounted with the solar panel. It's got a built-in battery. This is good for a 10-mile range. And we got this at Rural King. Country Way, 10 mile. So this is what we've done. We added 2 more lines in between the existing lines that we had. So, we're hoping that's going to be enough. But we have 7 lines. And it's showing right now. Let's see if you can see the light blinking. See it? I don't know if you can see. Okay, so the light is blinking, which means it's got charge. Okay, so now we're going to test it with our fence tester right here. We're going to stick this one in the ground, and then we're going to test the first line. It's blinking up to 2,000 volts, and I think that's because either the battery doesn't have enough charge yet, and I think that's probably the case because it didn't get enough sun. It's supposed to charge in the sun for 5 days before you actually use it, and it's been in the sun for maybe a day and a half. But before we were getting 6,000 volts, now we're getting 3,000, and we know that's not enough. So I'm going to test each line. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the lights blinking. They're flashing. So it's only flashing up to 2,000 volts. So we're going to go on the 6th line. That's also flashing 2,000 volts. And the last one, 2,000 volts. So it needs to charge longer. So I'll leave it on because it's supposed to be charging on the on position. So we'll leave it, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have a good bit of sunshine, and then maybe we can put the other goat in, because right now we'll keep him to the chain so that he doesn't get out, and but we have to get him away from the females. So He's got his own house. We put some straw in there. He's got food and water, and he's good to go. If he wants to eat a little bit of weeds and grasses over here, he's got plenty to eat. We got 7 lines, guys, 7 lines, and they're all charged. I tested the entire fence all the way around, and it's got a charge all the way around. So everything's working as it should. The only thing is that now we have to wait for the box to charge. The batteries are not charged enough. Like I said, I'm only getting 1,000 volts, 2,000 volts. I need at least 5,000. I had to rig this up. There's a little clip here that I hooked it to the wire. And then I also tied it here. I drilled a little hole into the plastic and ran that wire there. So it's not moving. And then we got 3 handles. So whenever we have to get in, all we do is we simply unhook these and then we can get in. And then I joined them together at the corners here, but I also ran a line all the way down to connect all 7 lines together. Anyways, all lines are getting power right now. So that's all that matters. It's working perfectly. We just have to wait for the batteries to be fully charged, and then we'll be in business. He's not happy, you see? He's not happy. You can't blame him, but there's no other way. This is going to be their new space now, and we're going to put the other male goat in here as well. Once everything is charged, fully charged. So I'm going to go inside because it's freezing. It's been freezing all day, like a winter day, guys. I swear, if it was cloudy today, we would have had snow. Got some pink clouds over there, see that? The sun is starting to set. So, he'll be okay. He's going to probably cry all night like a baby, but he's not going to be able to go anywhere. We left the chain long enough, yet short enough, where he's not going to be touching the lines or trying to get out.
Yeah, we don't want him to accidentally get tangled in the line while he's tied to the chain, because then the chain would just be a really big conductor of the electricity. So
Yeah.
left it just long enough. He can get his food and his water, he can lay down.
Right, yeah.
He's just going to have to deal with it for a little bit.
Yep. So, but that's it for the electric fencing. We hope you guys enjoyed the electric fencing project, and we'll give you an update in the next video. We'll have to probably wait 2 or 3 days now.
Right, before we can take him off
to be
the
sure,
chain.
yeah, but as soon as we have, before we can take him off the chain, I have to make sure that the battery is fully charged.
Right, we need
So-
5,000 volts on all of the lines before we can
Right.
let him out.
Exactly.
Because if not, he's just going to keep charging.
Yeah, and it should be fine having the 7 lines, because even though it's a lot of lines, we are not going 10 miles, so it should be able to carry the load
Right.
just fine.
Yeah, it's for 10 miles or 25 acres, and he's like in a 40 by 20 pen, so
Exactly.
he'll be fine.
Exactly, yeah. We only have like about 120, 130 feet going around, so. All right then, well, it's 130 times 7, but that's still less than 10 miles.
Yeah.
This is the first time doing this for us. We've never, done any of this kind of stuff, so.
It's a learning
I
curve.
hope it was helpful to some of you out there that are planning on putting in an electric fence for goats or whatever else you're doing. We found that this was fairly affordable compared to those
The netting
pre-made
ones.
netting ones. The netting ones are like ridiculously expensive. So, but this is the way we're going to do it from now on with a
Right.
T-post, and it works great. We're very happy. At some point, we're probably going to do the other fence over here for the female goats. We're just going to run 1 or 2 lines all the way on the bottom, around the bottom,
So they
just
don't
so they
rub.
don't rub up against the fence. And that's it. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace, health, and happiness.
As always,
Ciao.
always take care.